بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله الذي نبر قلوبنا بأنوار المحبة الألبية وأكمل لنا ديننا بولاية المرتزقية وتم نعمته علينا بهداية الهيدرية ونصلي ونسلم على سيد من خلق المؤمن الحق بالحق حبيب إلهنا وطبيب نفوسنا أبي القاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد
صلى الله عليه وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الهداة المهديين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من يوم إضاءتهم إلى يوم الدين. اللهم كن وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا معينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. Brothers and sisters in Iman, Assalamu alaikum. Over the last few nights, we have got to this point here now that remembrance, which in Arabic is zikr, is the only thing that will take you close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And being close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the greatest maqam any human being can achieve, but not only human beings, even the angels. Because you will see in the Quran, Allah says, Malaikatil Muqarrabeen. So even amongst the angels, and maybe even amongst the jinn, Salawat Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
That when you look at the existence of the world and the universe, we have to look at to see that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about creation in particular, He always mentions the jinn first before the ins. Ins being insan. But Allah says, whenever He wants to mention the two groups together, He always mentions the jinn first. So who are the jinn? What are the jinn? Where are they? Where is their place? Where do they live? Do they live on this earth? Do they have another world? These are the things that our capacity of brain does not allow us to understand these things. Now, like I said last night, when the Imam will return, he will increase our knowledge. So a lot of these things will become apparent to us. But I really want to hammer it home, especially because my main khitab and my main talk is to the youngsters. And we sometimes live in a world where the enemy's job is to place doubt. Once someone has placed doubt in your heart, it has two options. Either you get rid of that doubt with yaqeen and dalil and ilm and burhan, or you allow that doubt to take root in your heart and it will grow forever. And it will ruin. You know, there's a very famous weed that any homeowner who has one in their garden, they will destroy. It's a Japanese knotweed. And they say if this grows in your garden, it will destroy your house and all the surrounding houses, and if it takes over. And this is the same with doubt. Once doubt creeps in and takes root, it will destroy your whole belief system. It will destroy not only for you, but for generations to come. Which is why these majalises of Hussein, which is why the zikr of Allah, the remembrance, that's all it is remembrance, 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 that's all it is. The whole of Islam is based on remembrance. Why? Because if you remember the truth, and you speak the truth, and mention the truth, year in, year out, because people say, why these majalises every year? When would they ever end? When would they ever finish? Well, let me tell you this, these majalises will never finish. Even when Imam Zaman will come, these majalises will continue. And in some of our traditions, they say that even on the other side, these majalises will continue. So this remembrance is very important. For what reason? One, like I said, the most important one is to take us close to Allah, to be muqarrab. Now, when Amir al-Mu'mineen says in Dua al-Komail that Allahumma inni ataqarrabu ilayka bi-zikrik, he's not talking about himself. Because Amir al-Mu'mineen, you couldn't get any closer to God than his position. So he's just teaching us that it is the zikr of Allah that gets us to this position. Now, like I said, with the jinn and their existence, we have to look at the majalises of Imam Hussein. And unless we understand who our Mawla is, and what his maqam is, and what his personality is, we can never 100% dedicate our whole existence to that Mawla. You will see in the Quran that when the Prophet used to go to numerous wars, and like I said last night, our Imams, our Prophets, Islam in particular, does not allow you to start any wars. It doesn't allow you. Islam is a religion of self-defense. So Rasulullah, yes, he was involved in a lot of wars, but he never started or instigated any of them. They were always brought onto him. But you will see in the Quran, because some of the battles in the Quran, they are mentioned. One of the things that you will see is the people, when they doubted Rasulullah, and this doubt came about, is why doesn't Allah send an angel with him? They wanted to see an angel. And Quran talks about this. And you will see in some of the battles, when Rasulullah's numbers were very low and the enemy had huge numbers, they would say to Rasulullah, ask for some angels to come and help us. In one of the battles, Quran says, we did send angels to come and help you. Now, this is the difference between Imam Hussein. This is why they always say, why do you single Imam Hussein out? Why is he so special? You will see that on the day of Ashura, Imam stands. All that is left now is him, Imam al-Sajjad, Imam al-Baqir, Abdullah ibn al-Hassan, one or two other younger males, and a 6-month-old. That's all that is left in terms of the male population. And Hassan ibn Hassan, who was injured and wounded. So what did he say? You all know this. Hal min nasir yansuruni. Is there anyone? Now, that nida of Imam Hussein, that dua of Imam Hussein, that call of Imam Hussein, was that only for us? Or did this encompass the angels and the jinn as well? We have in our traditions that when the angels heard this call, 4,000 of them went to Allah. Who were these angels that could go to Allah so easily? Malaikatil muqarrabin. So they said, the call of Hussein, Allah, we can hear it. Can we go? Allah said, you will have to see. But at the same time, the jinn heard the sound and the call of Imam Hussein. Which is why in our tradition they say that the head of the mu'min jinns, because jinns are like nas. We have mu'min jinn, we have un-mu'min jinn, we have believers, non-believers, and so on and so forth. Because Iblis was also a jinn. So when they heard the call, the head of the mu'min jinns was someone by the name of Zafar. He came down to Karbala. Yeah? And he came up to Imam Hussein. And he said, Ya Imam Hussein, I heard your call. My troops are ready. Give us permission to go and fight for you. We will wipe every single one of these out. This is why when I said on the first night, we can never understand the maqam of Hussein ibn Ali. Look at this response of Hussein ibn Ali. He said to Zafar, because you see with the jinn, with some angels you can see angels. But jinn, the whole word jinn comes from, in Arabic, it means something that is hidden. Which is why when the child is in the womb, they call it janeen. Because it comes from the word jinn. Because it is hidden. Not anyone can see it while it's in the womb. So, Zafar said, we are ready. The angel said, we are ready. Zafar was given permission to go down to Karbala to talk to Imam Hussein. Imam didn't give him permission. When Zafar asked why, he said, Zafar, this is not fair. Because the enemies can see me and my companions when we're to fight them. But they can't see you. This is not humanity. This is far from karamah. This is far from insaniyat. Was Imam Hussein wanting people to come and help him to win the war? No, you see, this is now showing Hussein ibn Ali who he was. So what happened to the angels? The angels, when they said to Allah, can we go down? Allah said to them, now look, the body of Hussein is lying there, the war is over. So they said, well, we are prepared to go, what can we do? Allah said, go and do hafina bi qabr al-Hussein. Go and do tawaf of the qabr of Hussein. Salam alaikum. Day and night. Salawat ala Muhammad. So these angels came down. From the moment Hussein ibn Ali was killed, they did the ziyarat of Hussein. Until now, this goes on. And these angels have certain roles at Karbala, which I'm not going into now. But this is what happened. So this is what sets out Hussein ibn Ali from everyone. This is why we have the remembrance of Hussein. This is why we have to instill these characteristics of Imam Hussein in our children. It is not enough just to teach our children about the war, the sword, the way they got killed, what happened with their thirst. All of these things are part and parcel of Karbala. But they shouldn't be our focus. Because if they are our focus, then we lose track of the humanity and the characteristic of Hussein ibn Ali. Like I said to you last night, when the remembrance of Hazrat Zahra alayhi wasalam for her when we see these characters, this is what we should be following in our role models. The akhlaqiyat. When Allah wants to talk about Rasulullah, we said last night, khuluq al-azim. Doesn't talk about the might of Rasulullah, the knowledge of Rasulullah. Doesn't talk about any other character, only his khuluq, his akhlaq. So therefore, a Shia of Amir al-Mu'mineen should have the utmost akhlaq. Otherwise, we are following the wrong door. We have gone to the door of Saqifa if we don't have akhlaq. Because they didn't have akhlaq. This is in history, this is an open tradition. So Shias of Amir al-Mu'mineen have to lead by their akhlaqiyat. And this remembrance is not only for us, because if we say if the zikr of Allah is going to take us close to Allah, and we are going to be part of the muqarrabeen, then we should sit at home, don't go to work, don't do anything, take a tasbih out every day, sit there, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, subhanallah. This is zikr of Allah. But this will not get you close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is your action and it is the remembrance of not only the majalis of Imam Hussein, but also remembering each other. And last night we mentioned, in particular, in this day and age, remembering our Imam. Putting our Imam's needs above our own needs. This is our role. This is what we're here for. And this remembrance of one another is very important. I remember one year I went with a qafila from Iran to Syria. And I sincerely asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Bidam al-Mazlum Karbala, that inshallah next year, Arba'in, we will be at the shrine of Zayn al-Kubra. But I remember there was a gentleman in our qafila, he was from Iran, he was probably in his 60s, maybe a little bit more. He would do a lot of istighfar after every wajib namaz, wherever we went. He would spend about half an hour, 45 minutes just doing istighfar, astaghfirullah, in sajda sometimes, and cry. So because you know in Islam, talking about your sins to others is a haram act in itself. Apart from Imam, if you want to confess to Imams, yes, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you're not allowed to tell another human being of your sins. This is a sin itself. So anyway, I approached him very gently and I said, look, you are much older than me. Maybe you are being taught a zikr, maybe you have known something. Because he was a very holy man and you can tell from people's faces. I said, why are you doing so much istighfar? So, what is it? Have you done something so wrong in your life? He goes, yes. He goes that in the bazaar, I used to have a shop that we used to sell Persian rugs. And he goes, one morning when I came to the bazaar, right at the top of the bazaar, there was a lot of commotion going on. I saw one of the young lads that used to work, and I said, what is the commotion coming? He says, the end of the bazaar, where his shop was, has caught fire. All the shops are burning. So he said, my first reaction was, oh my God. So I started running in the bazaar. When I got to the section where the fires were and all the shops were burning, I got to my shop and I realized that, alhamdulillah, the fire has not reached to my shop. So when I saw that my fire, my personal belongings, the Persian rugs that are worth a lot of money, that if they burn, they burn. And in Iran, there's no system of insurance and things like this. And he said, I had money in the safe, and everything would have gone. I would have been completely destroyed. So when I saw that my shop was safe, I fell onto the ground and I did sajda shukr. Allah, thank you for saving my shop and my personal belongings. He said, while I was doing this, one of the alims, great alims of Tehran, was walking past. He stopped me and he said, what are you doing on the ground doing sajda? He said, I'm doing sajda shop. He said, for what reason? He said, because all of these shops are burnt, but my shop is okay. The alim said to him, you should not be doing sajda, but you should be doing istighfar, because were they not also people? Were they not have their belongings in their shops? Did they not have children and wives and their belongings? So you're happy your shop is safe, but what about your fellow brothers? What about the fellow mu'mineen? Then he realized that he has not achieved what he is here to achieve for. That if we are not thinking about our neighbors and thinking about others, this is why he said from that day onwards, all I did after every namaz was istighfar to Allah. That my kibr, that my greed, that my thinking of myself has got me to this maqam. Therefore I am not a true Shia of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Because Amir al-Mu'mineen, all they ever thought was about others before themselves. This was their sunnah, this was their seerah. You see? So we have to remember each other. This is why when they say, some people say to you, do dua for us, remember us in your prayers. And this is how we have to do our prayers. Why do I say this? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this. Where does He say it? In the only surah that we have to do in every namaz, which is Surah Hamd. Where is it in Surah Hamd? Iyaka na'bud wa iyaka nasta'in. Why is this bit? Na'bud means what? It means plural. Iyaka na'bud. We are doing your act. Iyaka nasta'in. Nasta'in means what? We are plurally asking you. So that means not just myself. This also has one more meaning, and this is why we are told, do your namaz at the beginning of time. Why? Because that is when Imam al-Zaman does his prayers. When Imam al-Zaman is doing his prayers at the beginning of time, and you do your prayers at the beginning of time, your namaz gets connected to the namaz of Mahdi Fatima. What does that mean when he says, Iyaka na'bud? That means me and whoever's praying behind me, Allah, we are doing your ibadat. Iyaka nasta'in, we are doing your. This is the sunnah of Ahlul Bayt. If anybody ever asks you to tell us the sunnah of Ahlul Bayt, tell them that this is it, that they never thought of themselves, but they thought of everyone else. This is why when they got to Karbala and Hur ibn Yazid al-Riyad, he stopped them. Imam on the way kept telling his companions, collect water, collect water, collect water. For whom? For him and his children? No. For the horses of the enemy that was thirsty. This is Hussein ibn Ali. And do you know what the sad thing about this? Because you will see in the Quran, in the story of Hajar, and this is we're talking about the sha'air of Allah. When you look at the story of Hajar, for instance, and this is what Hajj is based on, an action of a woman. The whole of Hajj is based on her action, not the action of Ibrahim, but the action of Hajar, which is why it's called Hajj. When her child was thirsty, what did Allah say to her? Put the strike your feet, the water of Zamzam will come, and this is a miracle in itself, because the water has come, until now, until the day of Qiyamah, this water will continue. Could not Hussein ibn Ali do exactly the same thing at Karbala? Could he not strike for water? He did. He did. Do you know why? Because he struck our hearts. This is why the water of Zamzam from our eyes will continue till the day of Qiyamah and beyond. But do you know, honestly, heartbreaking, this year, I was speaking to somebody who's an engineer at Karbala. They had come from Iran. They are building a new courtyard. Those of you who've been to Karbala, you may have seen it. But they are building a new courtyard that from the Khaymagah to the Qatligah of Imam Hussein, where the Talla Zainabiyya is, they are building a brand new courtyard. They were hoping to get most of it finished for Arbaeen. I don't know if they had or not, I don't know. But when I was speaking to one of the engineers about this, who was the head engineer, they are calling this courtyard the courtyard of Aqilay Bani Hashim, which is under the Zainab alayhi salam. So when I spoke to him, he said the very first day when we went there to do the assays, to check the land, to see how much concrete we needed and what sort of materials do we needed and everything like that. He goes, I instructed these workers who have come from Iran, the engineers, they were all engineers, to go and strike the rods into the ground to find out how deep the ground is, where the pipes are, where the waterworks are, stuff like that. He said, when I sent a group of them to do these checks, they started to cry and wail, and they sat on the ground and they started smacking themselves in their head and their face. So I said, maybe they have discovered a body, or what have they done? So when I went there, I stood there and I see they are sad and the water is surrounding them. I said to them, why are you crying so much? They said, the chief, he said, oh, what we did is we only stuck the rod in 1 or 2 meters and the water started to pour out. Where was this? The Khaymagah of Imam Hussein. So the water was there. Imam Hussein did not have to dig or strike or anything, but the water was there. But Hussein ibn Ali says that I am not thirsty for water, but I am thirsty for the Shi'as of Amir al-Mu'mineen to come, for them to learn from my tragedy. This is what sets Hussein ibn Ali apart from everybody else. One of the other things of helping one another and remembering one another and doing the zikr of Allah, it increases hope in your heart. Because whenever you do dua, one of the aspects of dua is because you never know it is going to be granted or not. You have what? You have hope. You have hope that Allah will give you what it is you've asked for. This is why when we say to one another, iltimas dua, because we are hoping the person we are asking, they are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their dua will get accepted. This in Arabic is known as raja, hope. And you will see in dua Komail Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Allahumma gfir li ad-dhunub allati taqta'u raja. Oh Allah, forgive the sins that cuts out hope. Why? Because if you lose hope, you've lost everything. You've lost the positivity. And Amir al-Mu'mineen again in dua in Komail says, Irham man ra'su malihir raja. What does this mean? Look at the beautiful words Amir al-Mu'mineen has used. Ra'samal. What does ra'samal mean in Arabic? Capital. Ra'samal. Mal means money, or wealth, or your belongings. Amir al-Mu'mineen says raja, hope, is the capital of my existence. Irham man ra'su malihi raja. So when your hope gets cut off, you have lost everything. At Karbala, hope was cut off 2 places. Raja was cut off at 2 places. And these 2 times, it was the children of Abu Abdullah Hussein who lost hope. The first time was this. When Sakina Kubra came and she called her uncle Abbas. And she said, Uncle Abbas, I want to show you a scene. He said, what is it? He said, come to the tent where we stored the mashks. I want you to show you something. So she held the hand of her uncle Abbas. She brought him to the tent where the children were all gathered in this tent where they used to store the water. These children were so thirsty, the heat was so much, that these children had lifted their shirts and they had stuck their stomach onto the ground that was slightly down from where the mashkizas were there. When Hazrat Abbas saw this scene, he went to Imam Hussein and he said, oh brother, give me permission to go and bring the water. When Hazrat Abbas went and he got to the Furat and he filled the mashk, he came. The enemies then surrounded him. 4,000 enemies came and they surrounded him. Umar ibn Sa'd al-Azraq said If Abbas takes this water back to the tent, then we are all finished. Whatever you do, make sure the water and the milk doesn't go back to the tent. So we all know what happened. They struck the arrows in the eye of Hazrat Abbas. They cut off his arms. Finally, one of them hit an arrow and it pierced the mash. All the water started to pour out. Here they say Hazrat Abbas lost hope that he will ever be able to get water back to these children. This is why when Imam Hussein came to the body of Hazrat Abbas, he said these words, Al-an in kasarat zakri. Oh Abbas, this is now my back is broken. Wal-kabadu qatili. Oh Abbas, if these people do not kill me by this evening, your sorrow, your pain, your grief will kill me. Then Imam says these words, وَالْآنْ إِنْ قَتَأَتْ رَجَائِي. Oh Abbas, now Hussein ibn Ali has lost all hope that these people will not attack my women and children after me, because Abbas, with your death, this is going to be a guaranteed event. This was number one. Number two came at this time, when the last soldier of Imam Hussein, the 6-month-old, was thirsty. Hazrat Zainab said that I went into the tent of the bath. I saw that she was holding this 6-month-old baby. This baby was so hot and so thirsty, it wouldn't stop being restless. So Hazrat Zainab said to Rabab, give me the child. She took the child and she said to Hazrat Rabab, I want you to go outside the tent. Hazrat Zainab took the 6-month-old and she placed him in the cot. Then she did these actions. When Imam Hussein came to the tent, he was peeking through the door of the tent. He saw Zainab al-Kubra lift the shirt of Ali al-Asqar. With her chador, she started fanning the body to get some coolness on the body of Asqar, that they say that Asqar's stomach was stuck to his back. He was so hungry and he was so thirsty. When Imam Hussein saw these scenes, he had to then approach the enemy for some water for this child. This is why he said to Zainab, bring me the child, let me go and get some water from these people. Because these people, no matter how cruel they are, they will not deny a 6-month-old water. When the children heard their father saying this to Hazrat Zainab, that Abbas went to get water, he was not successful. But our father is Imam Hussein. If he goes with Asqar and gets water, he will definitely be successful. So it is written in our traditions that all the children surrounded Hazrat Rabab. They all sat around this empty cot. They were all telling to each other. They were giving each other hope that my father is now going. He will definitely come back with water. All of the children had hope. Allahu Akbar. Imam Hussein took the 6-month-old. I will not say to you what happened to this 6-month-old, but all I will say to you is this. When Imam Hussein came back with this 6-month-old, he had lost all hope. He didn't want to even see Rabab. He didn't want to look into the faces of Rabab, because he is now completely ashamed of Rabab. So he calls out Hazrat Zainab. Hazrat Zainab comes out from the tent. Oh brother Hussein, did you get water? Where is Asqar? Imam said, come behind the tent. I want to show you something. When she came to the back of the tent, she saw the arrow in the throat of the 6-month-old. She saw that the throat had been slit from ear to ear. She said, my brother Hussein, what are we going to do? He said, I want to do janazah of this 6-month-old. But Zainab, I cannot bury this child while the arrow is still stuck in his throat. So I cannot take the arrow out myself, because this arrow has got 3 heads. The 3 heads have split. They have completely grabbed the neck. So what do you want me to do? Oh Zainab, I am scared. I am afraid that if I pull out this 3-headed arrow, I will completely cut off the head of Asqar. So Zainab, help me out. What do you want me to do, Hussein? Oh Zainab, you hold Asqar, I will poke the throat, but you hold his head very tightly. Do not let go of his head. Hazrat Zainab said, I held the head. Imam Hussein started to slowly pulling the arrow. He managed to get the arrow out. Then Hazrat Zainab said, I best go and tell Rabab. I best do something, because a mother who is waiting for her child to come back, she cannot live, she cannot breathe. So Hazrat Zainab يعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. يا رب الحسين بحق الحسين اشف صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة. يا رب الحجة بحق الحجة اشف صدر الحجة بظهور الحجة. يا رب المؤمنين بحق أمير المؤمنين